everyone, this is Fernando, Chief Nutritionist at Qua Nutrition Clinics. And as a sports nutritionist, I am locked down at home just like you are, and I'm walking here through my house right now. So I got a request on how should the players see this lockdown as badminton players. Now, it's difficult, it's tough. For me, even being a sports nutritionist and working at home is so tough. So I can only imagine how tough it is for you to stay at home. Is it a rest period? Well, you can look at a lockdown as an off season, but even in an off season, in an athlete, what's happening is that your calories are coming down lower because of lesser workouts, but maybe your appetite is not come down as much as it should. So the key point over here is to figure out that how do I eat the correct calories in this lowered exercise period. So if I eat these lowered calories, then I will not put on fat percentage. Number one. Number two, I need to consistently work out during this lockdown period. So you need to do the body workouts, in-house training, if it's possible to do your dumbbells and all. I know outdoor training is not being allowed right now. But you know, there's something that you need to understand, that your mitochondria, which is there inside every muscle cell, they're like powerhouses. So when you're a top end badminton and full fitness, full training without any lockdown, let's say you have 30 mitochondria per cell. Now in the lockdown period, your mitochondria might come down to half. So your energy utilization as well as your peak performance is actually dropping. So in this lockdown period, learn to eat in portion, learn to eat in calorie control. Do not go to sleep late because that's going to affect your cortisol the next morning. Cortisol is the fat storage hormone, and thereby the next day's meal are going to be stored as fat. So go to sleep early and make sure you're getting at least 2 to 3 hours of physical fitness training split into a morning session and an evening session. With regards to your nutrition, get in touch with a good sports nutritionist to frame your plan. I can tell you eat beetroot, I can tell you eat potato, I can tell you eat dal, I can tell you to eat rice and all of these things. But the fact of the matter is that unless I know your height, weight, body fat percentage and know what calories you're expending, you're always going to be on the back foot. So be safe in this lockdown period, but don't get lazy. It's not a rest period. It's time for you to do meditation. It's time to do your exercise. It's time to focus on your diet. I've got a question from Badminton Scholar, which is, after regular physical sports activity, will players gain weight more than other persons? Now, you have to understand one thing clearly. Athletes are like a high-end engine. When they are in training, their metabolism or your engine power is very high. So your eating is also going to be considerably very high. Now, when you get into this lockdown phase, what's going to be happening is that the lockdown, well, your body's not going to allow you to do so much of energy expenditure and stuff like that. So with limited exercise, limited mobility, not being able to train at all, your appetite might remain the same. This is crucial because it takes about 6 weeks to align appetite. So when we have 6 weeks to get an appetite in alignment, in the 6 weeks now you could be overeating, you could be snacking, you could be going to sleep late. So all athletes are doing Netflix, they're going to sleep late. So they're gaining weight over there. Second is the portion quantity is still the same maybe when you're training. So you need to reduce your portion because otherwise you will gain weight. And the third point is your physical activity would be in 5 to 6 hours earlier, now is dropped down to 1 to 2 hours. And inside the house, what would you do? You're not walking up and down in your house all the time. You're watching TV and doing stuff like that. So it's very important for you to understand athletes in the lockdown period will put on weight if they are not really focusing on their diet and their exercise. The workouts of players have gone down to about 50%. Will these sports people need to change the diet plan? Well, the answer is yes, you have to. Imagine yourself as an engine. Okay, when you're playing 5 to 6 hours a day. Let's say this engine required 50 calories, right? Now suddenly when there is no workout and it's only 1 hour a day, and suddenly you require only 10 calories. So the fueling requirement for 50 calories and the fueling requirement for 10 calories is completely different. So obviously the player has to realign the sports nutrition plan that they're following. In fact, I'm recommending to a lot of my athletes that you can reduce the portion inside your breakfast, lunch and dinner. There's no need to take protein supplements right now unless you're doing a very heavy workout of 1 to 2 hours, and then maybe post that you could actually do the supplements. But also very, very key in all of this is fasting can really help an athlete in terms of healing up the body. So can you maybe miss one meal, which is a breakfast, when your workouts have become a little lower, so that can lower your body fat percentage. Final point is that all athletes are going to sleep very, very late. So if you're going to sleep very, very late, that's affecting your fat deposition. Cortisol is a fat storage hormone. It comes out and puts more amount of fat in your body. So key things that you need to do is adjust your diet downwards, adjust your supplements downward. Ask your sports nutritionist to plan this for you, because this is really, really going to help you get to the next level by not putting on weight. Because when you come back, you may have gained weight, you would have gained fat, and you would have lost muscle. So this is a key dilemma in all athletes. So sports persons are advised to take sufficient protein during their rest. Now there's a prolonged rest because of the lockdown and we're all at home. I'm filming at home over here. And how should we manage? Well, the first things first is protein requirement in an athlete is anywhere from 1 gram to 1.8 grams per kg body weight. Now what you need to understand is that when you're not training, this requirement actually comes down. Yes, when in your rest period during a week of intense training, then I would give you a higher amount of nutrition in terms of protein. But now during this period, my suggestion to you is to keep your protein at around 1 gram per kg body weight. So let's say if you're 70 kgs, you require 70 grams, split that into 4 meals in the day. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, so 20, 20, 20. So that's 60 grams of protein, and maybe keep a 20 grams of protein post your workout. That is how I would do it. Do I do protein supplements at this time? Well, since non-veg food is not easily available, and if you're non-vegetarian, then what you could do is basically, from your vegetarian food, get your proteins from your pulses like chana, rajma, soya bean, dals. These are all the sources. If you're getting paneer, then that's great. And cheese also can help you in get your protein. If you're eating eggs, thumbs up, 1 egg is 6 grams of protein. So do the math and figure it out. If you can't work it out, this is the right time to go and work with a sports nutritionist, because the sports nutritionist will help you plan your calories as per resting, which is the rest or lockdown period now. And when you come back to training, what is the amount of protein and what is the amount of calories you need to have. Final point is that I don't recommend protein supplements now unless you're in a high intensity. So no BCA, no glutamine, no whey protein, none of this stuff. So it's very complicated, but don't take extra protein is my simple answer to all of you. Take care, and if you need any help, you can find me and I'll be happy to help you as your sports nutritionist.